They said this would be Messi's fairy tale ending. Well, at the World Cup final, Argentina wrote a very different story. 14 seconds after the whistle, the world champions were being choked on their own celebration pitch. And by Monday morning, FIFA had opened a formal disciplinary case against the losing team. Not the winners, the losing team. Let that sink in. This wasn't a moment. This was a meltdown. And tonight we're going to walk through every second of it. Because what happened at MetLife Stadium on the night of July 19th, 2026, wasn't football. It was something uglier. Something FIFA now has to punish. So sit tight, because the real story of this final has almost nothing to do with the goal that won it. Let's start with the scoreline, because that part is boring compared to what came next. Spain won. Argentina 0. Extra time. Ferran Torres poked in an 8-yard shot in the second period of extra time, and Spain lifted their second ever World Cup. First since 2010. Rodri walked home with the golden ball. Lamine Yamal, 17 years old, kissed the trophy on national television. The football world was supposed to remember that. Instead, we're all watching one clip on loop. And it isn't the goal. It's Nahuel Molina walking toward Rodri like he's going to shake his hand. He isn't. He punches Rodri in the stomach. Full swing. Spider-Cam caught it. The internet caught it. FIFA caught it. And that punch, in that exact frame, is where Argentina's World Cup legacy caved in. Now here's problem number one. Molina's punch wasn't an isolated act. It was the trigger. Because the second Rodri doubled over, Argentina's bench emptied. And Leandro Paredes ran onto the pitch not to console anyone, but to hunt. Video from 3 different broadcast angles shows Paredes shoving Spain's midfielder Gavi to the ground during what was supposed to be a trophy celebration. Then Paredes grabbed Eric Garcia, not by the shirt, by the throat. He held Eric Garcia by the throat on the biggest stage in world football. And Eric Garcia is not a brawler. He's a defender who just won the tournament and was trying to hug his own teammate. Paredes was sent off after the whistle. Yes, you could get a red card after the game is over. That is how badly this ended. Problem number 2 is the man who was already gone before the brawl started. Enzo Fernandez, Argentina's midfield engine. He got a yellow card in the 11th minute. He got a second yellow 10 minutes later. 2 bookings in 10 minutes at the World Cup final. Slovenian referee Slavko Vincic didn't hesitate. Red card. Argentina played the rest of the match, all 90 minutes, and both halves of extra time, with 10 men against the best drilled team on the planet. And here's the part nobody in Buenos Aires wants to talk about. Enzo's dismissal wasn't controversial. Both challenges were reckless. Both were rightly booked. The referee didn't beat Argentina. Enzo Fernandez beat Argentina. And when you're already down at 10, you don't get to also lose your composure at the final whistle. You just don't. Problem number 3 is the goal that never was. 96th minute. Nico Williams slides the ball past Emiliano Martinez. The Spain bench erupts. For 6 seconds, they think they've won it in normal time. Then VAR intervenes. The referee walks to the pitch side monitor. He rules out the goal. Reason? Mikel Merino allegedly fouled Nicolas Otamendi in the build-up. Merino stepped on Otamendi's boot as they both chased the ball. That's the foul. That's the whole foul. Independent VAR reviewers at ESPN called it harsh at best. Spain fans on X called it something you can't say on YouTube. And here's the twist. If that goal had stood in regulation, there is no extra time. No Enzo second yellow. No road. The story of this final was already balancing on a knife's edge, and VAR pushed it off the wrong side. Then, somehow, Spain scored anyway, and Argentina lost their minds. Now let me tell you what happened at 0000 hours Monday morning, 21st of July. FIFA appointed a disciplinary and ethics prosecutor. Confirmed by Reuters. Confirmed by ESPN. Confirmed by the FIFA Disciplinary Committee chairperson in a written statement. The named subjects of the investigation are, and I quote-unquote, quote, several Argentina players and staff involved in physical altercations after the final whistle. Unquote. Sources close to the committee are pointing at 4 names. Nahuel Molina, Leandro Paredes, and 2 members of Argentina's coaching staff who were seen shoving Spanish substitutes. Reported sanctions on the table? Bans of 3 to 8 international matches. For Paredes specifically, up to 12. That's the next Copa America. That's next year's friendlies. That's potentially the end of his international career at 32 years old. And where was Lionel Messi in all of this? That's the question ESPN's cameras kept asking. Because Messi stood at the halfway line, hands on hips, shirt untucked, watching. He didn't step in. He didn't pull Paredes off Eric Garcia. He didn't yell at Molina. He just watched. Some are calling it dignified. Some are calling it damning. Because he is the captain. The armband was on his sleeve. And when your teammates are choking opposition players on a global stage, the captain does something. Messi didn't. Whether that was shock, exhaustion, or something colder, only he knows. But make no mistake, that image, the greatest player of his generation frozen while his teammates fought, is going to follow this final for the rest of football history. Then came the tears. The cameras caught Messi during Spain's trophy lift. Head down, jaw clenched, eyes wet. He knew. This was the last one. 39 years old. No path back to 2030. Argentina had defended the crown they won 3 years ago in Qatar. And they lost it not just on the scoreboard, but in the last 4 minutes of a night that was supposed to be his coronation. He walked off the pitch alone. Argentine journalists reported he refused to speak in the mixed zone. His teammates boarded the bus without him for almost 20 minutes. And when he finally emerged, ESPN's Fernando Palomo said Messi looked, quote, like a man who had lost more than a football match, unquote, because he had. He'd lost the ending he'd earned. Meanwhile, Spain celebrated. Rodri collected the golden ball. 62 line-breaking passes across the tournament. Most in a single World Cup since Toni Kroos in 2014. Lamine Yamal handed the trophy to Pedri and kissed him on the forehead. Manager Luis de la Fuente cried on the shoulder of his assistant. Ferran Torres wrapped himself in a Spanish flag and slid across the wet turf. And somewhere on the other side of that same turf, Argentine players were being separated by stadium security. FIFA officials were already gathering evidence. Referee Slavko Vincic was walking to the tunnel with a full page of post-match notes. The final whistle had blown, but the game, in every legal sense of the word, was not over. Here's what happens next, and this is the part every football fan needs to hear. FIFA's disciplinary code, Article 52 on serious foul play and Article 57 on assault, both apply here. Punches thrown at players after the final whistle carry a minimum 3-match international ban. Throat grabbing carries a minimum 6-match ban. If FIFA classifies any of the conduct as, quote, aggravated assault, unquote, we're talking about bans that stretch into 2027 and beyond. And Argentina's next fixture? A Copa America qualifier in September. Molina and Paredes may not be on the plane. The Argentine Football Association has already released a statement calling for calm and, quote, respect for the disciplinary process, unquote. In Argentina, that statement is being read as an admission that punishments are coming. The bigger picture is uglier still. This is not the first time the 2026 World Cup has been dragged into scandal. The tournament opened with a referee being deported. It saw Folarin Balogun's red card overturned after a phone call from the White House. It featured VAR interventions at more than double the 2022 rate. And now it has ended with the losing team under formal investigation, while the winning team's captain was punched in the stomach at the final whistle. Reuters called this, quote, a tournament that tested FIFA like no other, unquote. The New York Times ran a piece asking whether football has changed forever. And the answer, based on what we all just watched, is yes. It has. Whether that change is permanent or a one-off, we will find out over the next 12 months. Because here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. Argentina did not lose this final because of the referee. They did not lose it because of VAR. They did not lose it because of a Marino step on Otamendi. They lost it because Enzo Fernandez couldn't stay on the pitch. They lost it because their bench couldn't accept losing. And they lost it because when the whistle blew, the world champions turned into a mob. Spain deserved this trophy. Every statistic, every possession number, every extra time chance says so. But that's the story that got buried tonight. Buried under punches, buried under chokeholds, buried under a FIFA investigation that is going to reshape international squads for the next 18 months. So let me leave you with this. The World Cup is supposed to be football's most beautiful night. What do we get on the night of July 19th? We got a goal, a red card, a disallowed winner, a stomach punch, a throat grab, a body slam, and FIFA disciplinary probe, and a captain in tears standing alone at the halfway line. 2 questions. Should Molina and Paredes ever wear the Argentine shirt again? And is this the ending Lionel Messi truly deserved? Let me know down below. Because the trophy has been lifted. But this story is only just beginning.